It's another ListenABLE bonus.
Bonus-ode.
Hello everyone, welcome to the bonus-ode. Zoom in on Dylan's face right now because, Dill, we're having another member of the ListenABLE family. I'm having a second baby.
What?
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, that's it.
I think I planned on saying that a little bit differently.
Nice.
But yes, I'm having a second
Oh,
bubba.
congrats, mate.
Thank
and
you, mate.
How's them?
Em, my partner, doing really well. We're at, as we record this, we're at 14 weeks.
Awesome news.
And it's a baby boy.
A baby boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we're
that's
calling
great.
it Dylan.
You bloody oath you will.
I'm not joking about that bit.
That's the best news ever.
Yeah, there you go.
Could have been its own episode.
So there you go.
Hey,
Wrapping
I'll
up.
give it a space. How you feeling? Don't just cancel. How you feeling?
I'm feeling amazing.
Yeah.
Completely joyous and over the moon that it's a boy. I was so happy to be a girl dad. I've got two of my friends who have got two girls, and I see how much they loved it. But the idea of this pigeon pair that everyone keeps referring to is kind of brilliant. Just to have the experience of
Do you feel different this
boy
time
and a
around
girl.
because, like, maybe you were trying last time, but you know what to expect because you've got.
Yeah, it's a completely different experience.
It is, yeah.
It's
like
we're
more
so much
joyous,
more comfortable.
Yeah, I don't know.
because Em was shaking just as she was in labour in the hospital, just because she was so fearful about what birth is going to be like. And now, like she said to me yesterday, she's like, I'm really chill with this. And I will say something if I can.
Mate, it's your podcast.
Well, it's our podcast,
Don't
and
get
this
us
is the
cancelled.
disability angle.
Don't get us cancelled.
We spoke about this, and you've mentioned many times that I've referenced that this idea of a healthy baby kind of perpetuates that if you have a child with disability that's not healthy, then that's not.
No, everyone
the
goes, as long
ideal
as it's
outcome.
happy and healthy. You're like, well, I wasn't healthy.
Now, I would never use that terminology, but we were in a scan yesterday, and the whole time the woman was in the scan, she was referencing points to us about how great it was that this child looked at this stage happy and healthy. Yeah. So she would say 2 feet attached to 2 legs.
Oh, yeah, weird.
And I was just there like, I had a mask on. I
That
was
creates
just like,
the bias so bad, man. And like, at my consulting firm, GSA, we work with the health department because, doctors, radiologists, they don't get any training around disability and they are creating that bias from the start. So just say you aren't Em and yourself, you have no idea about disability.
Yep.
You come to the birth, i.e. me, oh, by the way, he's got a massive tumour and he might die and he's never going to walk. It's like, you've told me the whole way that having happy and healthy baby is the most important part, basically. Like they're adding to that. So,
It was just yesterday. It was this time yesterday. I was in the chair and luckily I had a mask on because I was wincing my face. I had my hands in my head. It might have looked like I was being emotional, but the whole time she was going through checkpoints of health and not everything was feet. It was hands connected to, it was zooming in on the spine looks intact.
you could say there, you don't have to say anything, but you can go, oh, what if it did have one leg? That'd be all right. And I bet you they'd be like, oh, I haven't heard that before.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I didn't.
No, you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to.
Yeah,
but
I know.
and you're in a big moment for your family. So
And also it's Emily's experience as well that I don't want to
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, and then the other one was getting back into Down syndrome was getting the results from the doctor afterwards. After the scans, I'd only go see a doctor and it would say, congrats. It wasn't, I don't want to say the word congrats was, but it was
Good
news is you're in the very low factor of having a child with Down syndrome. And yeah, it's only because of this podcast and my friendship with you and our experience of the last 3 years of hearing the stories that I just sat there, and I'm pretty outspoken, but it wasn't the place to, and that's not my job to teach them. But yeah, I didn't even think I'd speak about that, but I sat so irky in that bit
Good on you,
when
mate.
they were just going through all of the organs. Everything's in place. Everything's fine.
Yeah, we have a lot of medical professionals who listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
And people might have learned something here, and you might learn something if you're about to have a baby about the bias you put on your own kid if it comes out with disability or whatever it is. Thanks for being vulnerable and saying that.
Because it's meant to be such a beautiful moment, and if it wasn't for this, and it was, but if it wasn't for this podcast, it would have been. If the language had changed from a clinical model, it would have been a better experience for me.
Love
Definitely.
it, mate. Beautiful.
There you go.
Congrats.
We're having a baby.
We're having a baby. I'm having a
Baby
baby
boy.
too. As in like your baby. No, I don't have my own baby coming. My
Oh,
baby.
you can hold him.
Beautiful.
Teach him how to kick a footy.
Young Dylan. Oh, I get it. I can't kick.